Here with Zach Lurz to preview the 2017 Concordia Track and Field indoor season. First of all, I think we discussed it a little bit at the end of the outdoor season in May, but what was it like as you reflected over just the accomplishments that you had of being able to sweep both shot put national titles last season?
You know, looking back on it now, I have a lot better perspective on it. I mean, kind of right after the competition is kind of surreal. You just, in the moment, you kind of forget about it. And now looking back, it's one of the experiences I'll always remember, you know, throughout my athletic career. And I mean, I couldn't have been happier with how I ended up. Didn't quite get my goal on the year. I wanted to get 60, and I just missed it by just a few inches, and that's kind of bittersweet. But getting the titles was secondary to that, and I got that, and I was pretty happy with it.
Are you hitting 60 in practice so far this year?
A little behind right now, but we're getting back up to it. So
at the end of 2016 outdoor season, the throwers page that puts together all those rankings of throwing programs in the country had Concordia's as number 1 in the NAI and number 14 among all levels of college programs. How satisfying is it to be recognized as a group and be ranked that high?
My class and the couple classes before me have been really special. They're a group of kids that probably won't be around for quite a long time in almost any sport. We've been, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll have to look at this, but I think we've been at least top 4 or 5 every year in the NAI since I've been here, in throws team wise. So seeing that continue was really cool to see, and just being a part of that was more rewarding than anything I could ask for. So.
Yeah, and certainly the last time you and your teammates competed at an official meet, the results were pretty amazing in Gulf Shores. What are you going to remember most about that outdoor championship?
In between the throws, in between events, that's always what I'm going to remember. Not going to remember much about what happens in the ring. It's always the experiences I have with my teammates in between. Just the way we interacted with each other, and just the bonds that we created is always what I'm going to carry with me throughout my life. So.
And I think you said it before, how the other competitors are always amazed at looking around how many Concordia competitors there are at the national championships when it's throwing events.
It's always funny because they joke with us, like, when are you guys all going to graduate? And then we still got me and Cody coming back, and they're just going to do the same thing. Like, what are you 30-year-olds doing here, throwing stuff? So,
what do you sense is the level of respect on a national level for Concordia throwing?
Concordia throw, you kind of hear it around. Mumblings around this, like how good and dominant that we've been in the past few years. It's hard to explain because it's one of those things that's not outright. You don't have kids come up with like, wow, you guys are a really good team, unless it's some guys you've been talking to for a while. But it's there. You can tell the respect is there. Kids are watching us when we throw, when we arm up. People are starting to emulate practices and things like that. So.
Obviously, still working with Coach McLaughlin. You do have a new head coach with Matt Beisel. From a perspective of yourself and the throwers, has much changed really, or is it kind of a continuation of things you've been doing?
On the throw side, not a whole lot's changed. Coach Beisel has done a great job of just letting us continue to do our thing. It's worked for us for the last for the past 3 years, from my perspective, and he's continued to see it. But what he's added is a team dynamic, which has been much needed in the last few years. We have team bonding times incorporated, and we've got a lot more team activities based than we have in years past, and that's the one hole that we have had on the track team that he's worked to fill, and it's done a great job.
Coach McLaughlin basically won all the assistant coach awards that he could have last year. What is it that he does that has allowed yourself and the rest of the throwers to have such success?
He's got a lot of experience under his belt, but you can tell he's kind of learning with us as we are too. He's not to say that he doesn't know what he's doing. It's more he's learning how to coach to each individual athlete better, and you can see it. He's tailored his athlete. His workouts from when I was a freshman to now have changed so dramatically. It's almost like night and day, and it's seeing Ed grow with us has been really cool to see.
Now, it certainly is, as you mentioned, it was really an unprecedented group of throwers this past year, and there were quite a few seniors that were in that group. So how is this kind of new collection of throwers coming along?
Unlike years past, we're very young. The girls' side have a lot of talent coming up. We've got a couple of young guys that are really promising, along with the guys that are returning. Everybody works very hard, and it's gonna. The depth isn't going to be quite as there as it has been in years past. We're not going to be at it. Like 2 years ago, we nearly swept GPAC. We took 7 of the 8 spots. That's probably not going to happen again this year. But taking 4 of the top 8 isn't out of the question. You know, we still have a couple guys that could score, but we're probably not going to bring a whole stable of kids. But it's still going to be just as competitive. We have our top people returning in almost every event, except I think Jav, and it's still going to be pretty competitive year for us.
Considering all the All-America awards and national titles that you've won, what keeps you motivated to continue to push forward as you enter your senior year?
This year's been a lot different. In years past, it's always been I've got 3 other guys that can do what I do, and I have to make myself better to be better than them. Now I have to find different motivators. This year it's more breaking my own records, kind of pushing myself beyond where I was before. I've been to a lot of camps and stuff to pick up little training techniques I can learn, and adding that into my training has been helpful. And it's not so much anymore about training harder. It's training smarter, and that's kind of where I'm at now. It's just kind of pushing myself to the next level.
And from a team perspective, what do you see as realistic expectations first when you look at indoor season here coming up?
Like team finishes, or what do you
right.
mean? Realistically, we can still score quite a few points, and we've got a lot of talent stepping up in the running events. We've got some kids that weren't there last year that I think can score. Realistically, a top 5 finish is not out of the question, as long as everybody competes to the level that they can. So.
And now I've got some quick hitters for you. All right, you ready for these?
All right.
First of all, favorite Christmas song?
None. I got no favorite Christmas songs. They're all the bane of my existence.
So you have no favorite Christmas movie then? Either?
No, I got Elf. Come on, man.
Elf.
Will Ferrell's the only man you should be able to laugh at Christmas.
Are there any holiday traditions in your family that you do every year?
Wrestling matches. If we're not knocking over the tree, it's not a good year for us.
At what age did you last sit on Santa's lap?
18. I tackled Santa, and he didn't appreciate that at all.
Who's the funniest out of the throwers? I mean, you graduated Jose. He probably was before. Right?
Yeah, Jose was always the smile around the ring. Probably it's now it's going to be graduated to Bird. He's got that burden now. So.
Is there a famous person that you've always wanted to meet?
Oh man, that's probably Arnold, because I kind of want to make fun of his accent to his face and see what would happen.
Favorite pro athlete?
Probably Reese Hoffa, and that is cheesy as it sounds, as a shot putter. He's an Olympic level shot putter for those who don't know. So.
And most people probably don't.
No, but he's a freak. It's pretty cool.
Now what? Go ahead.
No, you're good. That's all I got.
What's your favorite thing about the city of Seward?
The people. The people I've met, especially with me having worked at a business here in Seward, I've got exposed to the community that's out there, and there really are some great people around here that if you get to know, they're some of the best people on the planet, and I love the people here in Seward. So.